right, Riley Jensen sitting in for DJ. He'll be here for the rest of the week. The next, he's on a 3-day contract, not even 10-day, 3-day.
No, 3.
Well, as
I'm going to sprint, though.
As Yak and I have been talking about, we'll see about next week.
For all of us, or just me?
What's your schedule look like?
Be available, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. I like it.
You know, we're talking a lot about college sports and the doom and gloom that the money that they're getting and the free agency every year and the transfers and no loyalty, blah, 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 blah. And it's a mess. It must be fixed. We must have congressional action. We had a meeting, was at the White House last week or the week before. A bunch of high-powered people were there to discuss what to do. And you played, you've coached, you're involved in it still. What's your idea on the mindset that college sports are in shambles and must be changed because it cannot continue to exist?
I don't think it's in shambles.
What is it in?
Chaos?
What?
I think there's a little bit of chaos going right now until the dust finally settles into what it's going to look like. I actually think it's made my interest peak more.
Why?
Because I'm constantly looking and trying to find out how much is this guy getting paid? How much is a quarterback really getting paid in college football? I don't know. I mean, we hear about the big ones, but what's the real average? And how much does it cost for me at Utah State to get a good quarterback there? Because I think we've all just accepted that this is part of the game. So how do I do it? How are we going to do it? How are we going to compete? How are we going to get money to our schools, to our teams, to our alma mater so that our team can compete? And at what level will they be able to compete? I don't know. You know?
But hasn't that always been the difference? Like Utah
Who's
State
getting paid more?
No, Utah State. Yeah, who has more money available? Utah State can compete. They won the Mountain West, and now they'll go in the Pac-12, and I think they'll be able to compete. But are they going to compete with LSU, Ohio State, and so forth? Notre Dame, financially? No, they're always way behind, and they'll continue to always be way behind.
Yeah, so in that way, nothing's changed. But it makes me more excited because I'm thinking, like, wow, you know, like Mason Falslev, like, how much money is he going to make next year? Is he going to make $1 million to play basketball at Utah State University?
Does that bother you?
No.
Okay.
I'm excited for him.
Okay.
Because he's a good player.
No question. Yeah.
And I, in a way, at Utah State, it's kind of like you have to earn it first, and then you'll get paid. It's not like these other schools where you get paid before you earn it.
So how about this theory? Now, obviously, they're going to have a brand new coach. Who knows who's going to be? And so he's had a different coach virtually every year he's played, right? I think he redshirted 1 year.
Which is a testament to how good he is.
Okay. I suppose he says, hey, man.
Take the money?
Yeah. And there's a school, as they say, down south that apparently is overflowing in cash.
I think it would hurt my feelings, but I also would just be like, okay, that's part of the way the game's played now.
But you would root against BYU, wouldn't you?
If they took Mason, I don't totally root for them anyway.
But you root. I didn't say root for. I said you'd be rooting against. Your guy goes. You think I'm going to be necessarily rooting for LSU this next season?
Because of what they did with Dallin Levitt?
Sam, but yeah.
Excuse me. Dallin's his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, they bought him.
Yeah.
He had his.
But they also bought the other quarterback from Arizona State. So you just hate LSU.
But that was a mess at the time. Herm Edwards was a disgrace.
So it's okay.
I don't blame those guys at that point. That program was literally in shambles. I mean, they went through their worst run.
Do you think
ever.
Arizona State offered him the same amount?
I don't think they can. I think they could, but I don't think they can. Because there's only so much money available, and they've got to outfit a football team, not outfit a quarterback.
Right.
So they had to use money wisely.
So you're making the argument, though, in some ways, as the reason why you would leave Ole Miss as a head coach and go to LSU is because $4 million at LSU is not as difficult to still build a team at LSU as it is at Ole Miss.
Right.
And Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. And he thinks he can win there, win more there, win bigger there, more consistently.
Because they'll have more money.
All the stuff that goes in, yeah. And so this Tuberville, who was a coach, what did he coach at Auburn and Cincinnati, right?
Also Texas Tech.
Yeah. And so he's a U.S. Senator, right?
Yep, Senator
and so
from
he's
state of Alabama.
So this legislation that he's thinking, you get 5 years to play 5, and you get one free transfer. You want to transfer after that, you have to sit out. Now, I don't mind the 5 years to play 5. These guys, 27, 26 years old, seems to be a little silly. You get 5 years to play 5. It's like Air Force. Air Force will tell you, well, we don't redshirt, but actually they do because everybody goes to prep school the first year.
Right.
And then you go 4 for 4. So make it 5 for 5. And that's it. No exceptions, what have you, nothing. You have season-ending injuries, sucks for you, but you get 5 for 5, right? I'm all for that. But this idea...
So no medical red shirt?
No.
Nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. 5 for 5.
That feels brutal. You play 4 years for your institution. You get blood, sweat, and tears. Your 5th year, you tear your ACL. No medical red shirt.
You got to get on with life at some
Dream's
point,
over.
man. You played 4 years.
Dream's over.
You
don't get to go to the NFL. Sorry.
Well, I don't know that 5th year is going to make a difference. You're not going to get to the NFL. If you can't get there after 4, you're not going to get there after 5 or 6. So
Maybe.
If you're good enough, you can get to the NFL. Some guys, Caleb Lohner caught 4 passes, and he made the Broncos.
Yeah, that's all on potential.
To me, all right, maybe if you have a medical red shirt and you got a board of doctors, and so you get one more, but we're going to give you 2 years and 3 years. When does it end? You got to have some kind of restrictions or rules.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
The thing that I don't like is you only get one free transfer.
You don't like it?
No. If you want to transfer 4 times, transfer 4 times. Why not?
Why are you for that?
Because Jared Calhoun can coach on a Sunday night
and take a job on
and
Monday
then
morning.
Monday. Now, I'm not the smartest guy, but that would lead me to believe that his people were having conversations ahead. But oh my gosh, if a player's people has conversation during the season with another school, it's tampering, and we must cease to exist at all levels. Not whatever's available for the coaches needs to be available for the players.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. So if they want to...
so a coach doesn't have to sit out a year to go coach somewhere.
And his people can talk to Cincinnati while he's preparing for an NCAA tournament game. Not to beat Air Force. Yeah. Not to beat Air Force, to beat Arizona, which they had a shot to do. And I'm not criticizing him. I'm just using him as an example.
Right.
He can do whatever he wants. I've got no problem with that.
I think you make a valid point in the sense that a player could, as far as I know right now, and the way Deion Sanders has done it in Colorado, I mean, you can get fired after the semester.
Yeah.
So you might be getting paid good money, but if I don't like you, you're done at the semester, contract's over.
Right.
So why can't a player transfer whenever he wants if he can get fired whenever a coach wants to fire him?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. What coaches are... I think what's a really hard adjustment for coaches that are my age, that are used to the old system and all that stuff, they literally have to recruit their players every semester.
Yeah.
They have to recruit their own players. And they're already on the hook to recruit players that are not in their system, because that's what their job is to recruit when they're an assistant. If they're not an offensive or a defensive coordinator, their job is to recruit. And so then you got to recruit your own players, plus you got to go out and recruit new players. Their complaint is that, man, I'm doubling my workload now.
And then if they
And
don't
it's
like it, they can
exhausting.
leave anytime they want. You can have a 10-year contract, and you get a better offer, whoop-de-doo, you're gone.
No, and I'm saying this out loud, and I'm sort of agreeing with you.
I got it. I know.
But this is why they're complaining about it. It's because it's so much harder to recruit your own players at the same time, right?
Sure. The job got harder. No question about it.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Sucks for you.
What do you think about, like, and I don't know what the exact details were. Maybe Yak knows this a little bit better than I do, but the details of the Washington quarterback that was going to transfer, but then because of the paperwork that he signed, he had to stay at Washington. Like, are any of these contracts enforceable at all?
Well, he was threatened with both litigation from Washington and the Big Ten also. The conference itself threatened to litigate it. And that's, I think, what forced him back to UW.
Right, but does it, like, okay, so the litigation I understand, so he's feeling pressure, but is there any teeth to a contract anymore?
Doesn't seem like it.
Well, I mean, that's what you had.
Other than we're going to litigate against you and make your life miserable for the next 2 years.
That was all a threat. I mean, anybody could threaten. How many times I've been threatened to be sued?
Right.
Jeez.
I mean, you and Trump are like in the same category.
Hey, we don't bring politics into this show, okay? Especially when you're sitting in that chair, because the people who sit in that chair, all I'm saying, their feelings about that guy, we know what they are, but we don't talk about it.
Okay.
The coach at Baylor said that, what's his face, the little point guard for BYU, Wright,
Robert Wright,
had a 2-year contract. He played his freshman year at Baylor, and then BYU paid him more. So he came to BYU. Why else would you come to BYU? I mean, I know they love you and blah, 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 but you're going to take a kid from Delaware who went to Texas, and now he wants love. He wasn't getting love at Baylor, and all of a sudden he's going to get undying amount of love at BYU. It's the only place where he can be loved. No, it's where he got the money, and so he came. Good for him. Money matters, man.
No, it does. I'm just wondering if there's any. I mean, if I could back it all up,
beep, beep,
and if I
beep.
could, before the NCAA said, okay, we're going to allow you to pay players, I would have preferred, and I had said this vocally. I don't know if I'd said it on this show, but I'd said it to friends. Like, I think the best solution, because when I coached at North Carolina State University and Philip Rivers was there, that stadium was full with number 17 jerseys.
Yeah, and he should have got money.
But I don't think Philip Rivers really cared about that. Like, I'm not making a case
because
that
he's God-fearing.
But if I had somebody like Philip Rivers in my program at NC State University, and before all this happened, what I would have wanted to do, and I think this could have like relieved some of the problems that are in the locker room too, is I would have said, hey, let's set up a trust fund for $5 million, right? We're going to put it aside for you right now. If you graduate from NC State University and you play for us for 4 years or 3 years or however long it takes to graduate, you get this $5 million as a parting gift. It's in the trust fund.
Better
It's
than
all
a
there.
blanket.
It's all there for you, right? And then they're selling jerseys. They're doing all, but the $5 million is guaranteed to you when you leave, if you leave after you graduate.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like the best solution because it would encourage guys to graduate. It would encourage them to stay in the program to get their $5 million. Now, Philip Rivers was going to go to the NFL anyway. He was going to get paid millions of dollars anyway.
Right.
But what about Chucky Keaton? What if you put $1 million in a trust fund for him because he was doing such a great job for you? You know what I mean? He graduates from Utah State, and he gets a nice parting gift. Doesn't go to the NFL, but gets $1 million to leave Utah State when he leaves Utah State. That would have been, to me, that would have been the best way to keep players still interested in graduating, still interested in staying and being loyal to your program, and still financially being able to make it work.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that quarterback at Tennessee that had an $8 million contract, I've heard all kinds of stuff about how the offensive linemen were pissed off. Before he even got there.
Malavea is now.
Yeah, because they were like, dude, he hasn't done anything. He's going to get $8 million?
Yeah. All right. We got to go to a break. We'll explore this next. Stay with us, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.